Hello everybody. Doing a mic check to make sure that you can hear me. So if you can hear me or if you're there, it's a few minutes early. Hey Patty, hey Lynn, can you hear me okay? Can everybody hear me okay? Hey Deb. Awesome. So I hope y'all are doing good. I was in the mood to do pours today and I thought, well, I'm going to wait and do it tonight when people can watch and go live and just show you a few things that I've been working on. I'm getting a new studio in Sanford, North Carolina. I'm opening it on December 1st. And so I've been playing around and doing different things, and let me show you what I poured. This is it's just a 16 by 20 canvas, but this was the one I put on Facebook and in my Facebook group. These are my favorite colors, red, orange, purple, turquoise, and blue. And it dried a little deep, and with a glossy varnish on it, it would bring some of that color back out, but these are my favorite colors. So I've been playing around because I was looking for some pours that I really liked to do the background of a printed sign. So just another example. And I don't know if anybody else has done this, but this is so easy to do, is just to get yourself a picture frame. Hey Portia, Nancy, Lynn, Robin, hey Robin, Linda, and Beauty531, Tina, Kim, Nancy Lochner, David, Southern, howdy, Sheila, Nina. Great to have you all. So what's so super easy is just to buy a picture frame with the glass. Take it apart and pour on the glass. It's so simple, and you don't have to worry about the canvas texture showing. You don't have to worry about it warping because it's on glass. So it's not so beautiful on the underside. And sometimes it is pretty cool on the underside. So this would be, it's dried, and I would probably put a clear coat on it and then put it back in the frame and then put the back on it. And you could use it like that, or you could use it for a background for some artwork, because you know me, I love to do my artwork. Here's some other examples of just 4x6 glass. I want to put a koi fish on this one. And hey Sharon and Elizabeth, Sheila, Nina. I love this one too. This is going to be in a video I post tomorrow. I've been editing it, but this was just some leftover paints. But this is on glass. And so, you know, the back is kind of different. Kind of looks like a body, doesn't it? Kind of looks like somebody curled up. But I love the front of it. So this alone could be neat artwork with the black frame, or you could get a really pretty frame, you know, it doesn't matter. But painting on glass is so much fun to do because it's kind of simplified for you. And then, like, I finished one, and I just posted the video yesterday or whenever where I did the swipe on a piece of glass, and then I painted a hummingbird, and then I put gloss varnish over it and put it back in the frame. And this is for a friend. She commissioned me to do this, so I love to do artwork on top of pours as well. So I just wanted to show you those. And look, I got me another order of 8-pack bottles. These bottles that I love so much, they're on my Amazon link below the videos. These are the ones that I want to say so it's 8 bottles, and I think it's about $12. So they're a little over $1 a piece. They are so much worth it compared to the dollar squeeze bottles from the dollar store, because they have the screw-on lids. I haven't even opened them up. I'll show you one, because usually the ones you see of mine, like this one, they're usually dirty. But see, it has marks on it, which that eventually rubs off if you used it, you use it often. But see, it has a smaller opening, so you have way more control. And then you have a screw-on lid, so you never lose your lids, and it's always sealed nice and tight. They don't leak. The plastic is firmer. This is an 8-ounce bottle, and it's called an icing bottle for some reason. So I got me another pack of bottles because of the shop and the gallery I'm opening up. I want to do classes, so I'm going to use my squeeze bottles. I also have puppy pads down, because the last time I did a live pour, I just made a huge mess on the table, so I'm trying to be neater this time. So I have several pours that I want to do for you. I can't wait. But the first thing I wanted to do was just show you the colors that I'm using, and I will list them below the video in the comments section, or somewhere. I'll list it below, but I just want to show you what I'm using tonight. For the first pour, I'm going to pour on a light bulb. And it's not just any light bulb. It's a big light bulb. So I took a photo of it so you would see how it looked. This is what I bought at Hobby Lobby. And so it is maybe about 8 inches or so. And it has a screw-off lid that looks like the end of a light bulb. So I taped off this with the blue tape, and I sprayed it with a primer, just a very light coat, just to give the paint something to stick to. But there was a challenge in my Facebook group by Jill Jackson, who's the moderator, one of the moderators in my group. And the challenge was to do at least a 6-color pour on an object. And I don't usually like to pour on vases and things like that. I don't like vertical pours because they can often just kind of run over each other and get muddy. But I thought I would give it a try since Jill made the challenge. So I thought this will be cute. It was like $6 from Hobby Lobby. So I've got the top, which I'm going to leave it the way it is so it looks like a true light bulb. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to use black. She said 6 colors, so black. This is Artist Loft Aqua Green, which is one of my lovely colors that I love to use. This is Artist Loft Flow Acrylic, which is the pink or neon. It's a neon color. And I've got some Apple Barrel Neon Green and some Ceramcoat Sunset. And I don't typically use Apple Barrel or Ceramcoat. I just thought I would change it up a little bit. So I've got those, and I've got Ceramcoat and Soda Orange. And I've also, for the Halloween pour that I'm going to do at the end, I've got Ceramcoat Tangelo. So it's a lighter orange. And then this one is Apple Barrel Neon Orange. So as you can see, I've got 3 different oranges. They're just a little bit different. I also have Artist Loft Deep Red, just a little bit of that. So I got those mixed up. I got my black. Get these out of the way. And for those of you that are kind of new to pouring, hey Karen and Marie and Carol, Bridget, hey everybody. I'm so happy y'all joined me. So I wanted to show just mixing up a couple of colors just to show you how I do it. And my ratio is always 1:1. It's just super simple to remember. It works well for me. I don't have any issues with not getting cells. I don't have any issues with cracking or anything like that. So I just love to use the 1:1 ratio. So you can typically use Floetrol, and I am actually going to use Oetrol, but Oetrol Easy Flow is just like Floetrol. They're the exact same thing. It's just Floetrol is super easy to get. Oetrol is a European company, so people outside of the US, they can use this instead of Floetrol, but it's the same stuff. It's just, I love the quality of this one better. There's less flugers. You know the word flugers? That's what I use my little metal strainer for. I got this probably from some home goods store, and I use it to strain whatever I'm pouring into my paint. It just makes it easier. And I always do a 1:1 ratio. So I just eyeball it in the cup, and then I'm going to do the same thing here. Get that stick out of the way. So typically what I have found is that the craft bottle paints such as Ceramcoat, Apple Barrel, Deco Art, I use Deco Art a lot. Typically with the bottle paints you really never have to add water unless it's usually like a metallic color. So that's just something I have noticed, that because they're not tube paints, they're not considered artist grade paints as far as like more towards the professional end. So typically they're a little bit more watered down, a little bit, less pigmented. And so you don't usually have to add water to the craft bottle paints. And I'll show you the consistency that I like to have. And you always make sure when you're mixing that you scrape around the edges of your cup to make sure your paint and everything is all mixed together. Hey Andre from Luxembourg, wow. And hey Esmus and Kathy and Karen and Cindy, how are y'all doing? So look how, that's just like delicious. It just falls off your stick just like warm honey. Can you see that? If it drips, that means you have too much water in it, which I haven't added any water. This was straight out of the craft bottle. This is Ceramcoat. You don't add water to it at all. It doesn't need it. And this one was Apple Barrel, so we'll give it a stir and see what it does really quick. And I know most of you that are watching are regular pourers. You already are doing it, but for those that actually watch this video later that come across it and they've never done pours, or they're looking for examples of how to do pours and what recipes, I keep my recipes simple. It's just 1:1. And that is perfect as well. It just comes straight off your stick in one steady stream. So that is perfect. All right. And of course I always use Artist Loft White Flow Acrylic and Black, and they come in the quart bottles, but they're the same deal. You do 1:1 ratio of this to your Floetrol, mix it up, and then you add water because these are thicker. These are not made to just pour into your regular pours without adding anything. You've got to treat them just like you would your tube paint or your craft bottle paint or whatever. You have to mix the Floetrol with it and then add water to get it to the perfect consistency. Because somebody was asking about that in my group today, and I think they thought that because it says flow acrylic that you can just pour it straight out of the bottle with your pours, but you can't. You have to add Floetrol and thin it down, make it flow. So I'm going to take my black lid off here. And for this light bulb pour, I don't want any cells. So I'm not going to use any OGX or anything right now at this point. So, and you know, I'm not an expert on pours. I mean, on these pouring on objects. So we're going to see what happens here, okay? I wanted this to just be really colorful, so I'm not going to use the red. I'm going to use black, green, yellow, the neon pink, and turquoise, and one of the oranges. So I'll use the neon. I'm going to use the neon orange. Okay? So here we go. Let's see if this works. I'm just going to start layering. And I don't know how y'all do it. Some people might even do it like a dirty pour. They may put all their colors into one cup and then pour like a dirty pour. I kind of wanted to see how this looked, just kind of doing it layer by layer. So I'm starting it all off with the black just for fun, because I want that black to make it pop. Okay, let's see. The thing about objects is, you know, you've got to get around the top surface, so this is tricky. I have no idea how this will turn out. Oops. That's turquoise color. I'll do some yellow. And I guess I could just pour over the top and let it go down that way. How about that? Then I don't have to avoid the top because it's taped off anyway. Because it is an opening and it is an actual bottle that the lid screws on the top. I'll do green. And black. Add the pink here. And I'm basically going to keep doing this until I see that the whole bottle is covered. Orange. Okay, can you see me again? Let me know if you can see and hear me. Okay, yay! Sorry about that. We're in the country, it does that every so often. We don't know why it does it. So I'm back to I'm going to do less colors now because I've got lots of paint on here. So I'm going to do less paint so that it will flow slower. Because I obviously put too much on to begin with. So I'm just going to try to do a little bit at a time. Oh, there's a lump. I caught it. Hey Kathy, Carrie. Hey Tammy. Gina, Deborah, Janice. Hey, Janice Owens. Robin, Linda. Hey, everybody. Barbara. Sorry about that with the buffering and going offline. So here's hot pink again. And I'm going to do black again. So apparently with vertical objects, the key is to not over pour, it's to under pour. I was just making sure that the paint was going down the edge of the bottle and all that. So I'm going to touch up the little bit of sides down here. I can also, when this is dry, I can go back and paint that black. So I'm not even going to mess with it. So this is all taped off. And I'm pouring on top of the tape, which will go down. And this is a big light bulb that I was explaining. I got it at Hobby Lobby for $6. Here's the light bulb. This screws on, so it's a really cool light bulb. So I think I'm going to do one more layer. And this time I'm going to do black between each layer, just a little bit. But like I said, what's coming out on the cardboard underneath is really, really pretty.
Gina wants you to say hi to her.
Hey, Gina! Hey, Gina, Gina, Gina! And hey, Laurie, Sharon Bowie, Lucy, Kathy. Thank you so much for joining. So yellow, black. Actually, this looks more cool the way I'm doing it with the black in between. So orange, black, hot pink, hey, Jamis. It's not Janice, it's Jamis. Okay, I didn't even see that M until I just looked at it again. This looks so much better coming down the sides with it being done in layers. I'm going to do one more layer of colors. And as you notice, I'm doing very little paint this time instead of a lot. I'm slowing it down here. Hey, Kay, I eat cookies. Hey, Janet from Colorado.
Kathy's wondering where your butcher paper skins are.
My butcher paper is under here. I just put puppy pads down this time because I made such a mess on the last live pour. It was just one big puddle, and I didn't want to have that this time, so I put puppy pads on top of my butcher paper, which was kind of smart. But I've got cardboard under here that I'm going to have some beautiful drips from. I'm not sure how I'll get it off the cardboard, but hey. Okay, so orange, hot pink. That is pretty darn cool, y'all. I'm sure it will keep moving. I think I'll end with black. So I don't know how I'm going to. You're going to have to come. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. The donations are highly appreciated. So I'm ending with black. This looks really cool with it being kind of the final color, and I'm hoping it stays like it does. But in order for you to be able to see it on the side, you're going to have to come to my Facebook group or come to Facebook so you can see the pictures. And if you don't have a Facebook page, email me at sandralett.com and I'll send you photos. Because there's no way to put photos on YouTube, I don't think, that I know of. This looks so cool on the sides. I'm really, really happy. I'm going to try to lift this up. I don't know if you can see, but it's like super, super cool. It's very funky looking. So there's the light bulb. So that's the first one. I'm putting it aside. Got to make sure it's level so it doesn't go one way or the other for sure. Y'all bear with me 1 second here. Okay, that was fun. Okay, so the next one I'm going to do, I'm going to put the Halloween colors aside because we're going to do something fun with that. The next one is going to be a black canvas, 16 by 20. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. Okay, so I've got my Artist Loft black that I'm going to base coat the canvas with, but before I do that, I wanted to show you the beautiful colors I've mixed up for you. This is Deco Art's Extreme Sheen Copper. This probably looks the most like a copper penny, okay? So I've got that color. This is also Deco Art, and this is called copper, but it's paler, and let me show you the difference. And those, I love the Deco Art in the 8-ounce containers. So here's the copper Extreme Sheen, and here's the other one. There's a little bit of difference if you can see that. Okay, and then there's Deco Art. This is called Elegant Finish. These are usually about $7 to $8 or $9 at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. They're not cheap, but if you get them on sale, you can get a pretty good deal. This is one of my favorites, Emperor's Gold. So this is Emperor's Gold Metallic. Then I found this one. I actually found this at Joann's, and it was cheaper there. And this is called Renaissance Brown. So it's a brownish bronze color. It's really pretty. And I thought I would throw one more into the mix. This is pearl. It's not silver, this is pearl. So it has that pearly look, and I know the light might not show the pearlescence of it.
Gina said to say hello and that you are her favorite person.
Thank you, Gina. Hey, Rosemary and Connie. Connie might not be able to understand my English. I'm not sure. Hey, Imagination Figments. So I'm going to put me down. No. You know what? I'm not even putting down a layer. We're going to do... I wanted to do a puddle pour for you because that's something that I don't typically do is puddle pours. And I thought the metallics would make an interesting combination for a puddle pour to see how they intermingle with each other. So I don't think I'm going to put silicone or OGX in this either. Or do you think I should? What do you think? But I'm going to pour puddles. So I'm going to start pouring. And if anybody thinks I should put something in a little bit of the paint for cells, or if I should just go with straight out pouring, and let it be kind of a gradation kind of thing. So this is my Artist Loft Black mixed 1-to-1 with Oatrol or Floetrol and some water added. Do it. Go for it. No silicone. Yes. OGX. No, don't. So you're saying cells naturally happen with metallics. That's what I was thinking. I wonder if I should just try it and see. So I'm going to do I'm going to vary my puddles. I'm not going to do them all the same. I'm going to do some that are, started with a different color. I'm just going to switch it up all over. Melly D is one of my artists that I started watching when I first found fluid pouring. I found Anne-Marie Ritterhoff, of course, who is fabulous. She's a fabulous teacher. And then I found Melly D. And Melly D, used to do a lot of puddle pours. She does different things, but puddle pours were her thing there for quite a while. So I'm just switching it up here. And it only takes 11 ounces of paint to cover this canvas, and I'm going to put well over 11 ounces so that it's well covered. I'm going to use this beautiful copper. Trying to do a little bit of contrast between stuff here and there. Let's see, I'm going to go back and I'm going to put this other copper on these here. See how it's a little bit redder than the other copper for some reason. This is so much fun, y'all. I'm going to put brown here because I don't have any brown yet. I'll add some brown. I say brown, it's brown Renaissance. It's metallic. It's so shimmery and beautiful. Okay, let's put some gold here. We don't have any gold here, or here, or here, or here. Now, I'm going to go back to black. And I'm going to do black here, here, put it back in the middle. This one doesn't have any black. I'm going to put black here. So there's no rhyme or reason for this. You just kind of pour where you want to, And now I want to put some pearl in the puddles that don't have any pearl. I can't wait to see what happens with this. I hope it's something fun. Put the real coppery color here. I'll put it back on the pearl here. I think I'm going to do the brown here. So I feel like I've got a pretty good representation of all the colors, don't you think? Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit of black here in the corners, so I'm not fighting to get the corners covered. So I've got more than plenty of paint here, for sure. Whoops. Okay, let's see. Are y'all ready for this? It looks really kind of pretty just the way it is. I really almost don't want to ruin it. But there's already a few cells popping up. Yay. Hey, Let me torch it here for a second. So I do own a torch. See, it's got paint all over it. I did start with a torch when I first started my pouring. And I switched to a heat gun because I felt like I was less dangerous with the heat gun. But I do have a torch. But I have burned myself with the torch. I've set my paper on fire. So I just feel safer with a heat gun. But I do have a torch. So basically that popped some little bubbles. So I'm going to bring this up to you if I can here. I don't know if you can see the shimmer. Okay, let me pull out my pan. Oh my goodness, I forgot this. Make sure to go to sandralett.com. This is my giveaway for this month. I'm going to give this away on Halloween, on October 31st. This is a 12 by 12 canvas panel by Arteza. I've been using these and they do wonderfully with pours. They don't warp. This is a 12 by 12 canvas panel and I've got maybe 2 or 3 coats of Liquitex high gloss varnish on it. So this is the free giveaway this month. I'm giving away a painting. So if you want to register for it, when you're done watching, go over to sandralett.com and there's a contest you can enter. You have to scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, the very, very bottom, or you can click on the contest at the top. There's a link for a contest. So that's the gift right here. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, thank you. So I'm going to pull out my nice, dirty paint pan. And I'm going to tilt, even though I don't want to, because I really kind of like it the way it is. Here we go.
Mabel VG, I am Argentine and live in Panama City. We do not have Floetrol, but I use vinyl glue and water at a 40 to 60. I read that Eternal has pouring line.
Okay.
I had to translate that.
Okay, so now it's stretched out. And I just got to get it where I like it. So there it is, stretched out. The other thing I could have done was like put my finger through it a couple of times and that would break up the patterns, which I did not do. So what do you think? Should I stick my finger in it or should I just leave it as is? Oh, it's turning black. I'm rinsing my hands off here. Y'all hold on. Leave it? Are y'all saying leave it? I shouldn't do anything like put my finger in or... You see butterfly wings?
Yeah, like a close-up of a butterfly wing?
And I could even tilt it some more. Should I tilt it some more? Use a fork? Do y'all want me to use a fork? I've got a fork over here. Somewhere.
Somebody says finger it. Somebody says fork it.
Fork it. I'm not sure what the fork will do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try it in the corner here, okay? Ooh, yeah. Okay, here we go. We're just going to have fun.
A chain pull.
I don't have a chain unless you go get a chain out of the bathroom.
Carol says give it the finger.
Ooh, I like this, y'all. I didn't think I would, but I do. It's giving it almost like a 3D effect. This is pretty cool, Tammy. I would have never done this on my own. See? You give me courage.
It shimmers, looks cool. Oh, that is neat. Love it, Sandra. Love it. Fork all the way. Can you turn that light, turn it a little?
This one?
Yeah, just a little. Because that corner, that bottom corner is dark. There you go.
Oh, I didn't even bring it over.
No, you had it. Well, now it's not. There you go. Oh, yeah. Well, yep. Nope.
Okay, let's see. I like this, y'all.
Best forking painting I've ever seen.
That's funny, Nina. I like that.
How about the other side of the fork? Like,
The other side?
I don't know, like that way?
Okay, so that, if you do the underside, that really, really moves the paint. And
It's
it,
almost like a swipe fork.
yeah, it blends the paint, but it doesn't have as much of a 3D. What this looks like up close, I don't know if I can show you. It almost looks like it's tubing, like glass tubing or something on it. I don't know if it looks that way in the camera, but it almost looks reflective or 3D like. I'm not sure. I'm looking through my goodies here. See, I even have a pick that has 5 prongs.
Yeah, the first drags is, I believe her name was Jan, right? Imagination. Both look good, but I really like the first drag.
Okay, I think I'm going to stop. I don't like this X right here. Let me go through it. That is really cool though. Maybe one more. Okay. Okay, I'm going to stop. So here is the best forking painting you've ever seen. That's funny. So there's a puddle pour with forking. I don't know if anybody's done a puddle pour with forking. I'm sure they have. But it's really shimmery and pretty. I'm curious to see how it dries. The pearl looks really pretty over the black. You can see the shimmer over the black, which is kind of cool. So I'm curious to see how it dries.
Rebecca, I'm sorry. Imagination is Rebecca.
Hey, Rebecca. Rebecca is Imagination Figments.
I thought it was Jan. Didn't we have somebody last time named Jan that had... Oh well. My memory's not good. I'm old.
Don't pay any attention to Greg. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I like this. I wish I could kind of get rid of some of these blobs, but I don't want to overdo the forking. You know what I mean? So it's not going to change the shapes underneath. So I'm going to do, that's it for the fork. So here it is. I think it turned out pretty cool. It's different. And I always post my dry pictures on my website at sandralett.com. And in my Facebook group, if you haven't joined, join me over at Facebook. In my group, there's a link below the videos. And Greg may add the link in for you.
For which one?
My Facebook group.
I've done that.
And then when it's dry, I will post the pictures in my Facebook group as well and on my Facebook page. So I'm going to take this one away. Oh, there's some pretty stuff going on in the pan too. What am I going to do with this pan? Let's see. So see, I put puppy pads down so that I wouldn't make a huge, huge mess. I'll tell you what, I'm going to leave this for the next one because we're going to do the Halloween one last. When I was mixing up the pearl, I thought that pearl would be pretty with the gold. And then I mixed up an Artist Loft metallic cobalt blue. So this is a very shimmery, kind of a turquoise blue. It's like a peacock color. It's really pretty. So I thought those colors would be really, really pretty together in a dirty pour. So I am going to add my OGX, which I love. So here's OGX, coconut milk. I've had this bottle for at least 9 months and I've used about half of the bottle. It goes on forever because I never use a full pump. I only use 1 drop when I'm using it. So I'm going to put 1 drop in the gold. Well, okay, 2 drops went in accidentally. I'm not even pushing it down all the way, just 1 drop. And it smells divine. And so you just stir it a few times. And let me get a stick for this one. Stir it a few times. So those are the 3 colors I wanted to do in a dirty pour. Do you think I should add any other metallics to it? What do you think? Have fun. See you later, Karen. Hey, Ann Devonish. Hey, Linda. Hey, Lucy McQueen. No, don't add any more colors. Just do the 3. I think it'll be really pretty. So I've got a 12-inch canvas here. Got push pins in the back. So I'm going to do a little bit of the turquoise. then the pearl. The gold. A little bit of the blue. And I think this takes like 5 ounces to cover the canvas. I'm not sure. I'll make sure to have extra. Because I really don't want to put, well, maybe I will put a white base coat. So I'm just changing it up. It looks so pretty in the cup. So what I'm going to do is put down a little bit of white just to make the canvas wet. I'm not going to use much. And this is my little Wilton icing spreader. It's just quick and easy for spreading. Pretty flat, smooth. It's really great for something quick. So I'm just making sure it goes to my edges. The last one I'm going to do is going to be a Halloween pour, so that's the fun one. I can't wait to do that one. That'll be like playful, you know, for the holiday. But this one I hope will just be pretty. I want it to be really elegant and pretty. So I'm hoping it turns out really pretty. Hey Marie. Hey Alana. Hey, how are you doing? Alana from Vermont. Okay. So I'm gonna flip it this way. Pat it a few times like a little baby. That's a good cup because we're going to do a beautiful pour here. I don't know where Nisa is. She's typically here. I don't know where she is. I'm going to poke a hole with my push pin. Couple of holes, and what happens is that makes the paint release from the cup inside. Are y'all ready for some magic? Hey Camille from Australia.
Hello.
See what happens with OGX? 2 drops in all that paint. 2 drops, not pumps, just drops. And look at those cells. And the longer you let it sit, the bigger they're going to grow. That's the beauty of OGX. Is I don't have to heat this with a torch. I can do that. What it will do is it will pop the bubbles, and it might make a few little spots come up, but it's not going to bring up these nice, juicy, big cells. So when I say 2 drops, one was in the gold, one was in the turquoise. There weren't 2 drops in each cup. So I only did 2 of the 3 colors, and I did 1 drop in each, the 2 cups. So see how the cells just grow on their own? You don't have to do anything for them to grow. So I'm going to start tilting. I'm going to try to keep the pretty cells if I can.
Rebecca says she finally found the OGX.
Good.
And what size were those cups, Carol was asking?
The cups are 7-ounce cups. So I had maybe about 6 ounces of paint in each one. The little blue one is a 3-ounce bathroom cup.
Rosemary, priorities. She says the World Series starts in 15 minutes. She's going to be cross-eyed watching you and the World Series.
Well, the World Series is going to be really, really slow. You know what I mean? So that looks pretty good. I've got this one corner here. And I'm just going to drag my finger over it because the paint didn't quite make it to that corner. Make sure it's on my sides, but I like that. I actually thought more pearl would show up, but I do like it. It's very restful and beachy feeling. So that was done with 2 little drops of OGX. Oh, the beauty in the cup. I've got to pour this somewhere. Hold on. So I keep paper stuff around everywhere. From this was something that came in a box with something I ordered from Hobby Lobby. So it's just on paper. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it on a styrofoam plate just so I can hold it firm. And I'm going to let that paint, woo, my hands are slippery. But oh, this is pretty. This would make some beautiful jewelry right here. This is more lovely than that one because more of the blue is showing up. See how pretty that is? But what I can do is I can let this dry and I can make earrings and a pendant from this or something jewelry wise that would be really, really beautiful with these colors. So I love that. And I've got paint left to do more stuff with. So I did a drip right there in the middle of that pearl.
We have a couple people from Australia tonight. A couple from Russia.
Hey, Shazam Tig. Hey, Angela. So here it is. I like it. And I had never used the pearl paint before from Deco Art. It has a lot of shimmer to it. It looks kind of like a creamy white, but it has a lot of sparkle to it, and it's pretty intermixed with the blues. And it was pretty on top of the black when I was doing the metallic pour. So let me put this aside. Oh, that's pretty, pretty, pretty. The problem is I don't have anywhere to put this stuff.
Can you pull the stuff off of it, though?
No, you can't pour it.
can't,
It's
so that's the bad
that's on it's on fabric, so it won't come off.
So that's the bad part about using
That's the thing about puppy pads is you can't really pull it off of the thing. So this is like a temporary thing for me, just for live pours. For regular pours that I video, I would normally, my butcher paper is underneath all of this. And so butcher paper is fabulous for peeling stuff off or cutting it out and keeping it on the butcher paper because it will peel off later after it's well dried. So, okay, so now I'm going to do the Halloween pour.
Ann says you make it look so easy, I get paint everywhere.
I'm trying not to be as messy as I was last time because the last time it was embarrassingly messy. So this time I'm going to do the Halloween pour, and I had this little crazy thought in my mind. So here we go. I'm going to do the 3 oranges, a little bit of yellow. I'm going to do a dirty pour. So I need at least 11 ounces of paint. So I need a larger cup. Some I use for holding stuff. Some's got drips in it, but it doesn't matter. So this is over 20 ounces here. I even have paint on my arms, but it's sparkly and pretty. So this is going to be the Halloween one. So I'm going to do orange and this tangerine color. Just a dribble of red. Then I'll do the neon orange. The deep orange again. The tangerine. That neon is so pretty. The deep orange. Neon. Okay? I think I have enough paint here. I'm shifting stuff. Bear with me. Okay.
Black, somebody said in black.
Oh, I'm going to do black. Don't worry. I'm going to do black. That's going to be the fun part.
Lucy says that's what makes it fun is the messy mania.
Yes, it is. It's fun to play and be a child. It's like kids play. Get my mat straightened out here. Okay, I'm just going to fling it. I like to fling. So the key to this pour is I want just a basic coat of orange on the canvas, but then I'm going to do more stuff with it. So bear with me. I'm trying to think here. I think I'm going to do some of the deeper orange in the corners. And I'm going to put a little bit of that neon orange in. I just want to make sure I have enough paint to cover my canvas. I'm going to take my paint spreader here, the icing spreader, and spread this orange because it doesn't matter what it looks like. I just want the edges covered. This is going to be bright and cheerful and fun. I wanted to do something a little bit on the arty side to maybe encourage y'all to do something arty. Okay? So here we go. I'm going to tilt. And you know what I forgot to do is I forgot to put my OGX in here. OMG. But it looks beautiful. I get excited and then I forget to do the things that, like, typically if I'm making a video, I might not forget, but because I was excited, I forgot to put the OGX in. This is really pretty though. I'm just making sure my surface is covered. This is really pretty right here. I'm going to tilt this corner a little bit more. This doesn't have to be a perfect background because I'm going to do Halloween stuff on it. I'm hoping. I'm even using my fingers here just to move the paint a little bit. Making sure my edges are covered. Okay, so now I've got my yellow. So what I'm going to do is, since I forgot to put the OGX in this, I'm going to put OGX in the yellow. One drop. Couple of stirs. I'm going to put it here along the bottom just a little bit.
So Shazam Tig says that she has one of the spreaders and hardly use it because the suction gets almost stuck. Can you go over how you do it so it doesn't get stuck?
Yeah, I've had that happen before. I don't know if the paint is maybe too thick. I've had that happen before, but it doesn't always happen. So I can't tell you an exact reason it happens. But yes, sometimes the suction does get kind of tight to the canvas and the paint. But you know, these are craft paints, so they're a little more fluid. So maybe that's the key is to have your paint fairly fluid. Like if you're using two paints, which I usually use, just add a little bit more water to it maybe. So we're going to see what happens. I'm going to turn this around. What I want this to be is like, this is the sun rising through here, and this is like super gorgeous right here. I don't know if you can see. It's very subtle, but it's really pretty right there. And this is because there's some cells popping up, but I totally forgot the OGX, so I do have it here. But what I'm going to do is take a paper towel, and I'm just going to experiment here. I've not done this before. I'm just going to kind of swipe up and over. And then I'm just going to bring this down a little bit with my finger. I love this here. I don't really want to mess that up. I'm going to do this one more time. So I'm putting very, very, very light pressure on this yellow.
People are seeing a face.
You see a face?
Yeah, they say you can kind of see a face. Got man's face in the corner. Oh yeah, there's a face. Oh yeah, I see it. Bottom left. There was, well, I don't know now.
That might have been down here?
Yeah, down there.
Okay, well this is going to totally change. This is just the background. We're going to play with this. I don't like this area here. So I'm going to pour what's left in the cup here. and thicken that up a little bit. And what I'm going to do is just kind of drag my fork through to kind of make it blend in a little bit with this background. But this is our background, so we're going to pretend this is the background of a sky on a scary, scary night. Got a bubble there. That's where a cell is. So there's a few cells popping up, but because I put it in just the yellow and swiped with it, actually I'll heat it so we'll know exactly what it's going to do. It's just bringing up a lot of little dots.
Brought out some big orange dots too.
Well, the bigger dots were coming out already from the OGX, and they'll continue. But yeah, see, they're expanding. So now I've got my handy squeeze bottle with Artist Loft black paint in it, mixed with Oatrol or Floetrol, 1:1. Now I'm going to see if I can do...
Shazam says gorgeous colors, and Nisa says love the colors.
You're here, Nisa? Hey, Nisa. I didn't see you on. I didn't know if you were here or not. And I just got paint on my phone. Hold on a minute. I've got to get my paint off my phone. So here's what I want to do. Did I print anything off?
No, your tool. Yeah, I'll wash it off real quick. No, you did not print anything out.
I didn't. I thought I printed something. Man, I meant to print something. Okay, so this part is going to be... If you see little bubbles, you can actually blow on it just as easy as you can using a torch, and that will pop those little bubbles. But so what I wanted to do was along the bottom. This is going to be kind of like a horizon. We'll do a little heel. So I'll fill this in a little bit. But what I want to do So I'm just squeezing out my paint. This has no silicone in it at all. It's just making an old scraggly looking tree. And see, after you do this, you can even take a skewer or whatever you might use.
Yay.
Thank you, Nisa.
And Janet.
And thank you, Janet. You can take your skewer and just move those ends out and make them really fine at the end, or you can make little teeny branches that come off. So I want this creepy tree. And I usually keep the black and white sometimes a little bit thicker than the rest of the paints so that it will stand up on top of the paint a little bit better. And I also use it to swipe with a good bit. So basically you just draw out your tree shape however you want it to be. And then you can also put like these black birds flying through the air, or bats, whatever you want them to be. And then we want this to look like a graveyard. So you have to fill in the black a little bit at a time, and you might even have to fill in a lot of it as it's drying. There can even be, let's see if I can do this. I don't know if I can control it enough. Like a pumpkin.
That's cool. Lori says that she sees a face in the tree trunk at the top. Other people are seeing it too. Rebecca says the tree's trying to raise the dead of the graveyard. I mean, if you look, honestly, it almost looks like there's legs in the tree trunk and all the way up to a face up top, like a whole body. Is anybody else seeing the whole body in the tree trunk?
Do you see a body in the tree trunk? So you can go on and on with this. I've never done a Halloween painting ever. So this is just kind of fun, just playing. And that's what I love about these bottles that have the smaller tips. If you don't have them, they're well worth the $1.30 or so a piece that they are. They're an 8-pack. Like I said, they're in my Amazon recommendations. There can be like a crow sitting in the branch, if I can make it look like a crow. So this is where you take your skewer and you make things look. That kind of looks like a dolphin, but so you have to you might even have to kind of wait as the orange is drying a little bit more to fill in the black. But I thought this would be fun just to do something that is kind of Halloween-y. And then you can also do, you can get your black pretty thick, and then you can go through and do like grass. You can do all kinds of shapes.
Shazam says, that's so clever. Simplicity in the black, but looks so great. The fine tip bottle is so great to use to paint.
I mean, you can even put like little dead leaves. You can do as much decorating. And as I said again, it may be something that you need to add as the orange is drier, so you don't have as much competition with it being fluid.
Ann says, looks fantastic, Sandra.
Thank you. So I'm just trying to put it thicker here at the bottom. So then you just pull that black up. This would even be a fun way to do something that looks like fire. If you incorporated more red into it, it would be a cool way to make.
Nisa says, how about hanging bats?
Let's see if I can figure out how to paint a hanging bat. Let's see, they hang down their wings. I don't know if I can make it look like a bat. Yeah, that kind of looks like a bat.
Marie says she's glad she watches, but she's got to go.
Thank you for joining in, Marie. I appreciate it. So you just have to kind of manipulate your black a little bit.
Kathy says love it. Debbie says very fun.
I just thought I would try to do something with the Halloween theme, since that's right around the corner. See if I can get some jagged teeth here. Kind of. See, I have to wait till the paint dries to put like the triangle eyes and that kind of thing. It's like you keep filling in the black over there. And like I said, you just pull out your little branches where you want them, but it's good to wipe your skewer off so you don't contaminate the black, like I just did there.
Carrie says her battery is down. She's got to go.
Thank you for joining, Carrie.
Don't forget, this will be available on her YouTube channel.
Yeah, this will
after
be
it's done live.
after it's finished. You can always go back and watch it later. This would be a great little project to do with your grandkids or whatever, your own kids. So I'm going to put a good amount of black down here.
And Sandra says, I can see doing this same idea with the spring theme.
Yeah, you could do any kind of holiday. It's fun to do black and orange together because it's simple to do as far as Halloween goes.
Nisa says, I did a Halloween painting last year of a graveyard and put my ex-husband's name on the gravestone. Unfortunately, he hasn't passed yet.
That's funny.
Fill in the 2 top holes in the trunk of the tree and it will look like a man tree with eyes, and he's saying, oh.
This one? Right here?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. It's Lori. She says fill in the top 2 holes in the trunk of the tree.
So it
Debbie
looks like
says, my grandsons would love this. She was reading my mind.
Oh. So it kind of spreads out underneath the orange, which is kind of interesting looking. Let's see if I can do another bat. So I guess with the bat, you just do the little wings.
Charlene says this technique would be awesome on a weird shaped door hanger. Nisa says, oh, cool.
So, as it dries, things will kind of move around. So when you let it dry, you can just go in and add all the black accents you want. Fill in all the spots that need to be filled in. I just thought this would be really fun to do.
Sheila says this turned out so good.
Oh, that's his knee right there. This is his arms. There's his ear.
Rebecca says this is great. Sheila says, I love it. You are so creative.
Thank you.
Safi says, how fun. How about a witch flying on a broom, LOL. Lynn says, that's great. Rosalind says, love. And, Rebecca says, the graveyard dryad. Nisa, the cells in the background really make it look spooky. Absolutely love it. David says, I wouldn't fill in the tree anymore. It looks great as it is.
Thank you, David. It's nice to have a man watching every so often. There's not many men that do pours that, are on here or do. I have some comments from men, but it's usually women most of the time. So it's nice to have a man join in every so often.
Well, what about me?
Yeah, Greg gets lonely. So I can take these and just make them look like dead leaves or whatever they are. See, now if we were in my studio, we could be doing a painting class and everybody could be doing their own version of Halloween.
You could probably do that online soon, sooner or later. David said it's my first time here.
Well, thank you for joining, David. Acrylic pouring is so much fun.
Maria says, love it. I love all your work and always look forward to your videos.
Thank you.
David says he's here for me. Me, not you, but me.
Thanks for supporting Greg.
Lucy says, gotta go. Love watching you always.
Thank you,
Rosalind
Lucy.
says, I wish I lived closer. Nisa says, next year I will be there.
Mm-hmm. Well, someday I'm a head down to Florida someday, Nisa.
Ty Asmida from Asmus Art by Asmida says, my husband always around when I'm sitting here watching you because he gives food to the kids, therefore he is part of the work.
That's good.
Lori says, love it. I love your videos.
I'm going to have to fill in the fine details when it dries because what happens is the black just keeps sinking. So I'm going to try to lift it up without tilting it too much. So I will fill in the dark areas that are black. I'll fill them in once it's dried and make it look more Halloween-y. But yeah, I like the yellow coming out. It's kind of like it's kind of an eerie sky. And with a little bit of the darker orange at the top. So that's kind of where the red showed up a little bit. So you could technically put a little bit more red in the dirty pour. But you gotta vary those oranges, put some contrast between them in order to get them to come out and not just all be one color of orange. And I thought the yellow would give it that burst of like light behind the black. So
Lori says, love it, love your videos, and where do y'all live? And I said, we're in North Carolina, and that you're opening a gallery and studio in Sanford.
yes, I'm in North Carolina. I've got that accent. Can you tell?
Nisa says, I'm ready for both of you. We'll send Paul and Greg off. We'll do our own thing. She also says it's a great painting. Rebecca says that's going to look epic when it dries. Ann says, thank you, Sandra, Greg. Love and leave you hearts. Rosalind says, I love the face in the tree. Rosemary says, I absolutely love it. Nancy says, hey, we're in southwest Florida. Have an extra room and bath for you and Greg if you don't mind dogs.
Yeah, there's lots of people. There's several people in Florida. Jill, the moderator in my group, is from Florida.
Lori says, reminds me of a ghost. And Shazam says, thanks for the demo. Love your work.
thank you everybody for watching, and thank you for those that contributed. And I will be doing more live pours, but I just wanted to get on tonight and do some quick pouring and just have a little fun. I hope you enjoyed the variety. Unfortunately, on the light bulb, the black has taken over. So I probably shouldn't have put black between the layers of color. That's just a little bit of information for you. When you're pouring vertically and going down over an object, if you have black in there, it's going to kind of take over, so be careful with that. But I'll have pictures in my Facebook group when it's all dry.
Peggy Roche says, love this, now I want to stay home from work and paint. Paint one. Barbara says, like this fun chat and all the neat projects. Thank you for inspiration. P.S. Wish you were my next door neighbor.
See, this was a cat treats thing I poured on, kind of in the Halloween colors, but what happens is the black, when you use black, it gets in between your colors and muddies it up. So I should have learned from this one not to use as much black.
Debbie says the way you did the sky can be done with other colors to make a beautiful sky.
Yes, you could do the background in blues and do the silhouette of a sun and a beach scene with waves with black. You could do all kinds of stuff.
Sandra Attig says thank you, it was fun. Maria says LOL, speaking of accents, I catch trouble all the time from Georgia.
Yeah, see, I went to a boarding school in South Georgia in the late 70s, so I was in a boarding school for 6 years. I'm trying to level out my headstones here.
Rosalind says, I'm in Dallas-Fort Worth. I have room for you. Peggy says, thank you, Sandra, Greg. Enjoyed tonight. Tammy says, thank you both so much. Loves and blessings.
Thank you.
Rosemary, thank you for going live. It was so much fun. Alana, thank you. Have a chocolate week. Lynn says, wonderful as usual.
Chocolate is always worth it. Let me get some creepy black grass going out here.
Carol says, I decided to jump in and say hello. I sit and listen while I play with my paints. I'm also a Floridian near St. Augustine. We went through St. Augustine.
We have been through St. Augustine, which is a beautiful area. I went to a class reunion a year or two ago in Georgia. So we went south and went down 95, and then we went over to the A1A highway and drove along there, and it was just absolutely beautiful. So yeah, you can play and do all kinds of stuff with the black.
Denise says, I have a room for you too, but I only am across the mountains in East Tennessee.
Oh, I love Tennessee. I have a sister in Nashville.
We're actually thinking about going to Gatlinburg in a couple weeks.
Yeah, we're going to Gatlinburg the second weekend of November. Close to my birthday. It's going to be my birthday weekend because my birthday is November 12th. So we are going to Gatlinburg.
So Rosemary says Tennessee as well.
See, and you can thicken up your branches if you load up the paint some more. You know, you can. I could keep playing with this all night. So.
Denise says thank you for the live video. It was awesome.
I'm just trying to thicken up some of this black tree. That kind of looks like a Tyrannosaurus or something here, flying through the air. Pterodactyl, I don't know.
Rebecca says South Georgia, wee!
Yep, South Georgia, Valdosta.
Denise says, oh cool, you'll enjoy Gatlinburg. I love Gatlinburg. We've been there 3 or 4 times now.
I've been to Gatlinburg many times.
But I'm not from down south yonder here.
Yeah, Greg is not Greg is not from here, so he's only been to Gatlinburg a few times. I have been to Gatlinburg for many, many years to vacation.
Maria says happy birthday in advance.
Thank you. So I'm just putting black paint, getting my edges covered, making sure it's all covered. All right. Thank you so much for watching. There's so much you could do with the black that, you know, I could totally change this and make a hill, put a house, a creepy looking house on it. There's so many things you could do, but you just do the fun background and then you just put stuff on top. And you could probably even wait till the background is totally dry and then use your squeeze bottle and squeeze it all in, or use a paintbrush and do whatever you want to. So thank you everybody for tuning in and watching. I always love to paint for you. It makes my heart like really, really happy. I'm trying to get the heart there. Y'all make my heart very happy. This is what I love to do, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. And don't forget to register for the contest.
Yes, Denise.
One more time, here's the prize for the contest for October. It ends on Halloween Day, October 31st. Go to sandralett.com, and if you want to register, this is a 12 by 12 artist canvas panel, and it's called Tropics. So there's that. Thank you again. I'll see you later.